I would like to actually welcome you from all the community that we have. और उसी के साथ मैं आपका एक छोटा सा इंट्रो भी देना चाहूंगा। तो दोस्तों, रूपाश्री जी एक बहुत ही जिंदा दिल इंसान है, क्योंकि हाल ही में हम लोग मिले थे एक इवेंट के दौरान, और हम लोग बहुत समय से टच में हैं, क्योंकि हमारा एक कोचिंग का कम्युनिटी है जिसमें हम लोग वी ऑल टुगेदर वर्क, वी ऑल टुगेदर लर्न एंड इम्प्लीमेंट द थिंग्स। और उसी के साथ जैसे मैंने उनका एक पूरा इंट्रोडक्शन आपके साथ शेयर भी करा है हमारी कम्युनिटी में, तो वो एक कोच है जो बच्चों को, जो 6 से 18 साल के जो बच्चे होते हैं उनको ऑथर बनाने में वो हेल्प करते हैं। और स्टोरी वेवर्स करके उनका एक पूरा एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, एक एकेडमी है आई वुड से, कि जहां से वो ये काम करते हैं। और खुद एक बहुत अच्छे ऑथर है, और बहुत अच्छे अच्छे चुटकुले भी सुनाते हैं, और लोगों को बहुत ज्यादा एंटरटेन करते हैं। तो यस, ओवर टू यू। बताइए अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा हमारी कम्युनिटी को, और किस
Thank you
तरीके
for
से।
such a wonderful introduction. It's lovely meeting you, Mayur, again. Thank you for having me here once again. I know I am, I'm completely looking forward. I'm too excited to meet your community as well. And since you are talking about me, but you are the one who's doing such a great job. So you are helping people to transform their life through learning just not English as a language, but English, English is not only in India, English is treated not just as a language, it is treated as a skill. So I would say that you're doing a great job. It's my pleasure to be here. So thank you, all of you lovely audience or the viewers who are watching us today. So a little bit about me. He has already given I'm in lot more information and an intro about me, but still I would say that I'm a mentor who helps young children to become published authors. So this again, what connects me with Mayur ji, कैसा रखेंगे तो English और Hindi mix रखेंगे?
Yeah, combination, ma'am. Yeah, you can also go with the English.
Wonderful, absolutely, no problem. So Mayur ji is already doing such a great job. As I already told, it's taken as a skill. I want each child to express themselves not only in their the regional language, what in their mother tongue, but also in an international. They are able to express themselves, reach the world through English. That's what I make them English authors on a world's largest book publishing platform, that is Amazon.com. And they become within just 60 days they become published authors. Just 8-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old children, they are becoming published authors. Till now I have impacted more than 2000 students who are into it. And also parents who look forward to see the children in that great platform. And I would say the parents who had barely a dream of making children better at English, today they are able to see their children becoming worldwide published authors just within 60 days. So, and we are, our academy has a mission of reaching 1 million students in coming years. This is within 10 years. So this is my dream, and we are driven by a mission. So for us, it's just not a job, but also it's connected to our heart. तो मैं थोड़ा सा इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को प्रोफेशनल से थोड़ा पर्सनल बनाती हूँ, सिंस आपके ऑडियंस भी अभी इंग्लिश सीखते हैं एंड देयर लाइफ इज गेटिंग ट्रांसफॉर्म. तो और आपके, मुझे आई एम श्योर मयूर जी अभी इस कंप्लीट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन गुजराती कम्युनिटी के लिए डेडिकेटेड रख रहे हैं. तो हमारे लिए तो मेरे बहुत सारे गुजराती फ्रेंड्स हैं, और मैं एक एंटरटेनमेंट करते हैं. मयूर जी क्या बोलते हैं?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. लेकिन उससे पहले मैंने एक जो शायरी बहुत अच्छी आपके लिए प्रिपेयर करी है आपको वेलकम करने के लिए, तो वो मैं बोल देता हूँ, देन आफ्टर प्लीज गो विद दैट. चलिए. तो जो दिल का खूबसूरत हो, जो दिल का खूबसूरत हो, भगवान ने ऐसे लोग बहुत कम बनाए हैं. जो दिल का खूबसूरत हो, भगवान ने ऐसे बहुत कम लोग बनाए हैं. जिन्हें ऐसा बनाया है भगवान ने, आज वो हमारे शो में आए हैं. तो बहुत ज्यादा वेलकम है। अभी
मयूर जी,
अभी
एक
आपकी बारी है।
पर्सनली मैं आपको जानती हूँ, बट ये वर्ड कुछ आपने इतने सुंदर तरीके से मतलब डाला है। मैं आई एम ब्लेस्ड, आई कैन नॉट से एनीथिंग मोर अबाउट दिस, आई एम ब्लेस्ड। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दीज
बिल्कुल
वेरी
बिल्कुल।
वेरी वार्म एंड काइंड वर्ड्स, थैंक यू सो मच।
हम्म। और मैं कहना चाहूंगा सभी से दैट रूपा जी बहुत अच्छे जोक सुनाती हैं, और स्पेशली मरवाड़ी और गुजराती के ऊपर तो इनके पास बहुत बड़ा एक डेटा है। तो मैं चाहूंगा प्लीज आप ऐसे चुटकुले से, डेफिनेटली आपने अभी जो बताया उसमें में आप शुरू करिए।
प्लीज प्लीज। मुझे मैं गुजराती और मारवाड़ी लोगों के बारे में इतने व्हाई आई एम एबल टू नो सो मच इज आई एम इन मुंबई सिंस आई बिलोंग टू कर्नाटका। मैं आई एम हेल फ्रॉम अ ब्यूटीफुल टाउन कॉल्ड अंकोला which is near to Goa. It's like a very very beautiful town, like my all the inspiration of all the inspiration and my creativity comes from the nature and the I'm connected with what kind of a grounded environment I'm connected with. तो इसी साथ मैं 25 साल से last 25 years I have been in Mumbai, and my most of my friends are from Gujarati and Marwadi community. I have studied with them. Now even my children, they have a lot of Gujaratis, so I'm connected to their culture, I'm connected to their food, I connected to their language, though I'm still I'm not I don't know how to speak in Marwadi or Gujarati, but I would love, I when I see their culture, the kind of a vibrant nature they have in their culture, they are and what kind of a contribution they are making it to society, that really excites me, and that connects me connects me with Mayur ji as well. तो मैंने वही सोचा कि एक जोक के साथ शुरू करते हैं। तो
बिल्कुल।
मारवाड़ी गुजराती लोग हमेशा जाने जाते हैं, दे आर नोन फॉर ऑल देयर द मनी सेंस एंड बिजनेस सेंस एंड द ग्रेट द I would say their vision for the upcoming business world that drives me a lot. चलिए इसी के साथ थोड़ा सा इसको लाइट करते हैं इस मोमेंट को, और एक जोक सुनाते हूँ। एक बार ऐसा होता है कि फादर हु इज इन अ डेथ बेड, तो उनका वो अपने बच्चे बच्चे सब साथ में बैठे हुए हैं। फादर को मतलब लास्ट मोमेंट में उनका मतलब अब 1 घंटा 2 घंटे में जिनका मतलब मान लीजिए कि वो इस दुनिया से पधारने वाले हैं, तो वो देखते हैं कि सारे के सारे वाइफ बच्चे सब बैठे हुए हैं। तभी फादर बोलते हैं डेथ बेड में सोते हुए कि बोलते हैं कि माय बिलेवेड वाइफ, मतलब बोलते हैं कि मेरे प्रिय पत्नी तुम कहाँ हो। तो बोलते हैं कि मैं आप ही के साथ हूँ, आप टेंशन मत लीजिए, मैं एकदम आपके साथ हूँ, आप बिल्कुल ठीक हो जाएंगे। आपको जबकि वो दिल में जानती हैं कि थोड़ी देर में वो निकल जाएंगे यहाँ से, पर उसके साथ भी वो बोलती है कि मैं यहीं पे हूँ, सांत्वना देती है। तो थोड़ी देर में वो पूछते, 5 मिनट के बाद पूछते तो मेरी बेटी कहाँ है। तो वो बोलता है कि बेटी बोलती है पापा मैं आप ही के पास बैठी हूँ, आपको टेंशन लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, अभी डॉक्टर से भी बात हो गई है, एकदम आप सब ठीक हो जाएगा। तो थोड़ी देर के बाद बेटे के बारे में पूछते हैं कि तुम कहाँ हो मेरे बेटे, मेरे घर के चिराग तुम कहाँ हो। तो वो फादर बोलते हैं, तो बेटा बोलता है एकदम मतलब उनकी आंख भर आती है उसकी, और बोलती है पापा मैं एकदम आपके हाथ पकड़ के आपको कुछ जरूरत है मैं यहीं पे हूँ और आप एकदम ठीक हो जाएंगे, आपको कुछ भी सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है। तो फादर अचानक से बोलते हैं तो दुकान में कौन बैठा है। तो फिर तो इस तरह का ये जो जोक है, जो मुझे बहुत मतलब मैं बहुत सारे लोगों से शेयर करती हूँ, क्योंकि आप ये एक एप्ट है गुजराती मारवाड़ी लोगों के लिए, एक बहुत ही एप्ट है। उनको एवरी टाइम और एनी टाइम
दे
अपने
वरी अबाउट
बिजनेस को
बिजनेस है।
सबसे ऊपर रखते हैं। जी जी।
टॉप
तो
प्रायोरिटी पे होता है।
प्रायोरिटी पे होते हैं। इसीलिए जो मयूर जी ने जो कम्युनिटी बनाया है आपके बिजनेस में या फिर आपके काम में, कोई भी रुकावट न हो, आप जस्ट बिकॉज आपको इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, दैट शुड नॉट बिकम अ कंस्ट्रेंट। तो ये एक एप्ट मैंने, मेरे पास बहुत सारे जोक होते हुए भी मैंने इसलिए सुना है क्योंकि आप लोगों के ड्रीम्स और एस्पिरेशन मुझे पता है गुजराती कम्युनिटी का कैसा रहता है कि वी नीड टू बी बिजनेस लीडर्स एंड इवॉल्व बिजनेस पीपल। तो आपको इंग्लिश की वजह से कोई भी तकलीफ ना हो, इस विजन को रख के मयूर जी ने बहुत एक अच्छा ये किया है। तो आई एम टुडे प्रिविलेज टू बी हियर टू शेयर समथिंग विथ यू गाइस। सो
थैंक
लाइक
यू।
विद
तो
दिस नोट लेट्स गेट
बहुत
स्टार्टेड।
बहुत बहुत अच्छा चुटकुला आपने सुनाया। और हमको याद भी करवा दिया हमारा पर्पस हरदम जो
जी जी
ध्यान में
जी,
रख के
पर्पस
चलते
से
हैं।
जी जी
ग्रेट
जी
ग्रेट।
बिल्कुल।
तो जैसे आपने बोला कि ये जो कम्युनिटी हम बिल्डअप कर रहे हैं, या फिर मैं जितने भी टाइम से, आई थिंक आई हैव बीन वॉकिंग इन दिस फील्ड फॉर लास्ट 10 years, 10 साल से।
वाओ,
मी एंड माय ब्रदर, आप हार्दिक जी को भी जानती
राइट,
हैं।
जी
तो
जी
हम लोग इसी क्षेत्र में काम कर रहे हैं, और कहीं ना कहीं ये जो मॉडल हमने शुरुआत करा था हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट से, तो लोकल एरिया में भी हमने देखा कि देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल, तो डे टू डे दे फाइंड एक्चुअली लॉट ऑफ हर्डल्स, ऑब्स्टेकल्स व्हेन इट कम्स टू कम्युनिकेशन। और एक इंसिडेंट मेरे साथ हुआ था कि हमारी सिटी में कुछ फॉरेनर्स आए थे। वो
अच्छा,
एक टूर पे निकले थे, जैसलमेर से रिक्शा वगैरह वो लेके निकले थे। और हुआ ये कि यहाँ पे कुछ न्यूज रिपोर्टर्स ने पकड़ लिया उन लोगों को, और उनको भी कुछ जरूरत थी, कुछ रिपेयरिंग वगैरह करवाना था। समस्या ये थी कि कोई उनके साथ कम्युनिकेशन नहीं कर पा रहा था। अब उसके लिए मुझे स्पेशल इनवाइट करा गया था।
वाओ,
तो ये फिर वो न्यूज रिपोर्टर्स मेरे से बोल रहे थे आप इनका इंटरव्यू लो, आप इनसे पूछो। फिर मतलब तब मेरे को ये हुआ कि कहीं ना कहीं ये एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या लोगों के लिए है, क्योंकि आप स्पेशली किसी इंसान को बुलाते हो कोई काम के लिए, आप खुद उसके लिए कैपेबल नहीं होते, देन इट फील्स के यार ये स्किल आप भी अपने लिए वो कर सकते हैं काम। तो लोकल एरिया पे हमने देखा, वहां पे हमने प्रमोट करा, फिर हमने इसके वर्कशॉप शुरू करे, फिर ऑनलाइन पे हमने करा, और आज तो हम लोग वी आर इन मोर देन 16+ कंट्रीज यहाँ पे जो हम काम कर रहे हैं।
वाओ,
तो एम ऑफ द शो यही है कि बहुत बार क्या होता है कि वी गाइड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू आवर स्टूडेंट्स, एंड वी आल्सो गिव देम द कंप्लीट सिस्टम व्हिच दे नीड टू फॉलो। बट व्हेन दे सी द पीपल लाइक यू, okay, like coaches, like business people, all the entrepreneurs, उनका एक जर्नी होता है। और हमें पता है कि जब हम जीवन में आगे बढ़ते हैं तो बहुत सारे ऐसे चैलेंजेस होते हैं, उनको टेक ओवर करके वी गो हेड इन अवर लाइफ। तो एम इसका यही है कि जैसे आप इस शो के अंदर है, एंड द लेवल दैट यू हैव जस्ट टॉक्ड अबाउट, कि 2000 से ज्यादा बच्चों तक आपका ये प्रोग्राम आपने पहुंचाया, आपका ये मिशन है जहाँ पे आप काम कर रहे हैं। मेरा सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन आपको यही है कि अंग्रेजी की अहमियत आपके करियर में कितना रहा है, प्लीज वो आप थोड़ा शेयर करिए। कब से आपने शुरू करा, कितने साल आपको हो गए इस इंडस्ट्री में, और किस तरीके से इसका महत्व है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं डेफिनेटली ये शेयर करना चाहूंगी। जैसे आपने ऑलरेडी बताया कि जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ लाइक लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस ऑफ और नोइंग अ लैंग्वेज, how people can suffer in certain countries or a region. And not only that, English have been playing that most important and critical role of being an international language, जिसने सारे के सारे इतने सारे लैंग्वेजेस प्रेजेंट है हमारे दुनिया में, बट इंग्लिश वो एक सिंपल लैंग्वेज है। भले ही जो उन्हें नहीं जानता है, मे बी दे थिंक दैट इट्स अ वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, बट इंग्लिश इज द simplest language, compared to any language, and it has been playing a pivotal role in anyone's growth, because through that one common language we are all able to communicate with the different regions, different communities. जैसे आप इसके already आप उनको सिखा रहे हैं कि knowing about English or learning English language, how can it make their life, personal life, much more easier. Even people who are put up in different countries, but they have not learned the English, and that they have gone there for various reasons, maybe with spouse, maybe with children. but they can be part of their culture just by knowing this language, and you're already doing it. That's a amazing and a I could say commendable job. So now, like, my a little bit about my journey, like, I, as I already shared, I come from a very small town called, like, Ankola, which is, like, part of Karnataka, and a very beautiful. I have been educated in a vernacular language, Kannada medium, and I hail from a very small town, like, where probably people forget about knowing English. There, even if you try to talk in English, people think that, like, she has a audacity, and she is like trying to be very attitudeful,
Smart.
something like that. Yes, smart, absolutely. I am educated in such a small school. My mother was a teacher, like, now she is retired, but like we have never been, but my parents were, like, very much pro to educate us more and more, coming from a very educative family, all the people from their family. But definitely English was still a problem with everyone there. The small city where, like, even if you want to try to communicate, or you want to use certain words in English, even using a words like a thank you and sorry, people who used to get offended. Then, I belong to where they used to say, and we know that, like, you know a lot of English, you can talk in Kannada. I belong to such kind of a category, and the region. But having said that, I had a love for English from my birth. Like, you can say I had a very innate love for that language from the beginning. So I wanted to, and I could also see my father always made it as a habit to call for only English newspapers at home. He always read the English books to us. That's what he was. So, like, he always gave us a lot of, probably you can say, even in being a small city, he always encouraged us to know more about it. But we were given a first priority to talk in only in Kannada. Okay. So, like, but my love did not stop there, and it kept growing. And when we were hardly introduced to English only in the grade 5th. So, but then once the English was introduced to us, I took all my leap to read more books on that, small books, probably, to, like, take some small books from library, or you can say anywhere. And I made all the effort to. So that was purely out of my love and curiosity to know this language. And more I read in English. मुझे ज़्यादा उसके बारे में, I started falling in love with this English more. And I also saw that, I, as a child, like, probably that city hardly knew anything about English. That time, as a probably 8th standard student or a 7th standard student, we used to get some kind of more than a pocket money. We did not have the culture of pocket money. It was a small town, but someone used to gift you some money on your birthdays. I used to subscribe, me and my sister used to subscribe Reader's Digest and Competition Success Review. These kind of, like, those days it was a big thing to read a Reader's Digest. Okay. So I started when I used to read the article in that, like, I had all the passion to write. So I started writing small article, and I would love to share it today. Couple of my articles and jokes have been published in Reader's Digest those days, but
Wow.
without any name, because I was scared to say my parents I do these things, and people, how will they take me? Today I laugh at the same thing, like, probably I would have reserved, preserved those copies. So, like, this kind of a journey about me I had in English. But of course, like, when from 12th onwards, 10th onwards, like, I got immersed completely into English, and, like, there was no look back then. I started writing in English. I started, small stories, and, like, and probably stories and the blogs I started writing in English, and like, it got published in various, I started writing as an anonymous writer, but then like, it got started like, then I started accepting the fact that yes, people need these kind of a journey. So then I started publishing with my own name. Today, like, there are so many platforms where I have contributed as a blogger, as a writer, and my own best-selling book is in English. So आप पूछेंगे कि English में, and I want children, when people come to me from various city, like, even in India and abroad as well, I have students. But like, when people from the very interior, like, from Jammu and Kashmir and very interior places, when people come to me and they want me to speak about, like, they always ask, ma'am, can you please explain in Hindi also? I say I am very good in Hindi, but this the program is all about English, and you don't worry, your child will get adopted faster than you, because children are the one who get adopted. Today, most of the parents come and thank me, not for making them a published author, but making them like, very pro towards, inculcating that language of English in them. So like, today I feel very blessed when, like, a small cities, we are able to reach small cities, like how I I belong to one of the small towns. Same way, like, I reach those small cities, small villages with this kind of a program. I feel really proud, because and my mother had a dream of making me as an author as a child. So like, today, this is the reason behind me offering this course first to the young children, then to the coaches. So like, this was the vision which I had for creating this academy. So I mean, this is a
So
journey.
your mother's vision is flowing now. Actually, you are making that dream come true.
Absolutely. She has taken all the effort to, like, educate us in the best of the way. Even being a small city, they always ordered English books too, or any other books from a different part of India or from different cities for us. So I would say, like, their contribution is a lot in our journey. So this is how.
Great. So as you just mentioned that from your early age you have started to write in English, और तो writing के through आपका build-up बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ है, लेकिन most of the time what we see that writing is a different skill, reading is a different skill, and speaking is a different skill. So when it comes to speaking in front of people, तो वो initiatives आपने कब से लेना शुरू करे? और early जो आपका phase था, then वहाँ पे did you have kind of stage fear आपको होता था when it comes to speaking in non-native language? तो थोड़ा सा वो आप share करिए please.
Definitely. Of course, ये बहुत important question आपने पूछा है. Let me tell you, मयूर जी, ये बहुत बड़ा एक चीज होता है लोगों को. इंग्लिश अगर आपका नेटिव लैंग्वेज नहीं है, तो इंग्लिश में आप भले ही you will read and write, but when it comes to sharing in English, so speaking in English, it's a great thing for anyone, and you will have fear, because every time you speak in English, you convert that into in your native language, and then you try to speak. And you will not believe, when I entered Mumbai, in fact, like little before 11th, 12th, when I was into, like, I was, I started talking, like, because we were not given any platform where we could talk in English. But when actually the situation, when I could see that, like, this is a situation where I can speak in English, I did not hesitate. Maybe I did not have the right English, but I thought, let me make a mistake. Let people mock it. Let me learn it. Because, I was courageous about it, because I had that innate passion to go ahead.
So this is again, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to ask you the question that how did you get that courage? Because
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Because most of the people don't get it. Absolutely. See, now, like, I could hear, even now, you will not believe, I'll just take this journey little forward and then take it back. Even now, my children are in a very sophisticated, like, a language, they are into a language zone where they can speak, like, a beautiful accent, like, they can copy any accent, a Spanish accent or an English accent. Like, it was my dream to educate them in such a way. When I utter certain words and the pronunciations are not correct, they say, Mama, what kind of a pronunciation you have? I rectify myself. I tell that I come from a very small background where English was not even introduced to us, like, but today I love to learn from that. I would say all the listener here, don't hesitate to learn from anyone. Don't put learner is never a small or a big. Learning is no learning is small or big. If you close your mindset saying that, like, why should I learn from him or her, your journey stops there. If you have the ability or appetite where you want to learn, you want to make mistake and learn, as Mayur ji said, मैं अभी courage कैसे आया उसके ऊपर भी मैं बात करूंगी. Even at home, like, we were stopped many a times, like, by spouse or like, this is not pronounced like that. Then I go back, then I check the pronunciation. I don't accept their pronunciation. I go back, I check how it is actually pronounced, and I learn on that. Till today, and till probably till the end of my life, this journey will remain so. और जैसे आप बोल रहे courage कैसे आया? When I came to Mumbai 25 years back, so I could see people used to speak a lot in Hindi. Okay. But like, I was already good in Hindi because of the influence of TV. You can say national TV.
Movies,
I already
Bollywood.
yes. So I already knew good Hindi because no one could make out, okay, she's come from South India. So like, she does not actually, that was one, you can say plus point. Any language, if you're learning, that is like, a great point for you to like, start a conversation or bond over people. But having said that, I used to see, मैं देखती थी कि मेरे कॉलेज में बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे थे colloquial हिंदी लैंग्वेज में बात करते थे. Then I thought these people are still learners, like, they have a colloquial, they have still the hesitation because they belong to Maharashtra, they don't belong to any other countries. So they are still hesitating to talk in English. I took the lead. I should take an opportunity to talk to them only in English. So that is where I used to make mistakes, but like, I used to learn from them. अगर मुझे कोई बोलता था कि this is not how you pronounce it or this is not the correct English or something, I would love to accept it. I used to go back, check it, be a lifelong learner. That is going to end. Anytime anyone puts you down saying that this is not how, it pinches you. Definitely it pinches you. But if you take it as a pinch, your journey stops there. If you take it as a challenge, your journey starts from there. I would say till today, when I'm coaching something, like, I'm not able to come up with some word or something, I hear a lot of comments from the home itself, like, you need to be more fluent. Of course, I know, till the end, I'll keep trying to be more fluent, more have a beautiful vocab. And also in the journey, what I used to do, whatever the time was left out, even from as a child, like, how I used to do is I used to go through dictionary. So like, every day, five words I used to sit and understand, like, okay, now I don't know English, how I should build English, because there is no other way to build English in a small town, right? I used to go through those dictionaries. I used to point it down, but that doesn't stop just because you have, pointed it down. It will not. Every day, even with us, probably a person who do not know English, with them, I used to use that word in a line. Probably I'm talking in Kannada, but I used to use that word in my language. That gave me a lot of confidence, like, okay, people apart from this, like, they know little lesser, and probably I can go ahead and do that. Like, so this gave me a lot of confidence. And like, I can say that, like, this is, we South Indians, we have one, when it comes to learning, like, we are always pro about it. Like, we take it as a challenge. I have seen in my whole community like this. Now, English, especially when I speak about English, I can see my English was not developed over the time, neither it is developed now. It is a process. It is going to, but whatever you know, if you are not going to address it now, okay, or you are not going to use it now, this will, you will either forget it or you will not gather, courage. Remember everyone, the listeners and the viewers here, I would love to give this. Every time you have been stopped by someone, do not take it personally. They are stopping your, they are talking about your word. They are talking about your language. They're not talking, they are not talking about you. Maybe they do not know how to put it across nicely. That is their inability. That is not your inability, but your ability is to learn from there. Please make it a point to learn. That is your starting. That is not your, and you have longer journey to address. So this is what I would like to say.
Yeah, the fantastic, actually I would say that ये जो golden nuggets होते हैं वो आपने कुछ शेयर करें हैं. सबसे पहली चीज मैं यहाँ से स्पेशली इसके ऊपर थोड़ा हाईलाइट करना चाहूंगा, जो आपने बताया कि हमको एक लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्नर बनना है. और टुडे, आज भी आपने बताया कि आप बहुत सारे शब्द हैं, तो आज भी आप लर्नर हैं. तो एवरी डे जहां कहीं भी आपको कुछ ऐसा लगता है तो आप जाके उसका रिसर्च करते हैं, आप वहां पे सीखने की कोशिश करते हैं. फिर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम अगर हमें कोई करेक्ट कर रहा है या फिर हमें कोई बता रहा है दैट यू आर मेकिंग मिस्टेक, तो हम उसको पर्सनली ले लेते हैं. तो वो हमारे ऊपर नहीं लेना है, वो हमारी लैंग्वेज के साथ लेना है. तो अगर हथौड़ा पड़ रहा है तो लैंग्वेज के ऊपर लो तो वो शेप में आएगा, लेकिन खुद के ऊपर ले लिया तो फिर आप वहां से गिव अप कर देंगे.
आप एक सेल्फ डाउट में चले जाओगे. आप क्या होगा, और आप उस पर्सन के साथ कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाओगे. अब आपकी जर्नी में कौन आपके साथ रहता है, who is going to be for longer here in your journey or no, it is their decision to be there, like how to put it across. If you want to correct someone, Mayur, I think next time you can make the show little better. I can say it, but some people are, Mayur, your show was absolutely, it was like a crap. See, now Mayur should take this as a learning to make it more better, right? So it is just an example, like, what am I saying? But people take it personally. When it comes to learning, either it is from a 2-year-old baby or a 99-year-old person, I take it as an opportunity to learn. And I think probably this has been, I can see that this has been shaping my life step by step during all the ages of my life. I can say this is my plus point. And I would love to, today address the audience also, saying that please try this. This is going to help you in a great way. So this is my, I can say that, like, this is one.
And आपने बताया प्रोसेस के बारे में. ये प्रोसेस है. मैं जो मेरे स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको मैं यही गाइड करने की कोशिश करता हूँ that it cannot be a course. एक फॉर्म में हम लोग लेके जाते हैं एज अ टीचर और मेंटर. इट इज अवर ड्यूटी कि आपको एक सिस्टम देना रहता है जिसको आप फॉलो कर पाए, लेकिन आपको ध्यान में रखना एक जर्नी है, एक प्रोसेस है, जो आप द टाइम आप कोर्स में भी होंगे वो कंप्लीट भी करेंगे, उसके बाद भी उसको आपको फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. और nobody is perfect. Perfection is an illusion. You just need to try every day that how you can make yourself more better and better. तो यही एक लैंग्वेज का प्रोसेस है. What you say on this?
Absolutely.
आप थोड़ा सा इसमें कंटिन्यू करिए, तब तक मैं एक चार्जर इसमें कनेक्ट कर देता हूँ. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
जरूर. मैं मयूर जी का जो कहना है मैं बिल्कुल मानती हूँ, और मैं बहुत सा मतलब I would love to give little more about this on here. We generally, when we are not confident, we try to connect with people who are lesser than us. And here I would love to give you a golden nugget. Never connect with someone who is lesser than you, who knows lesser English than you. Connect with who knows better than you, or who is more, who's more pro in English, because now this is the time he will correct you. And this becomes, if probably you go to a vegetable vendor and speak in English, he may not even, give you any kind of I'm just giving you an example that doesn't put a vegetable vendor any in a less position, but, it will probably, he will not come back and say, ma'am, you are making a mistake in English, but you are trying to see a speaker or probably a coach or a mentor or probably people in your family who knows English better. Try to speak to them, let them correct. You go back and do your own research. This is going to, as Mayur rightly said, mentor is here to direct you. Mentor is not here to probably, like, he will handhold you, but at the same time, The journey is where you need to walk. And when you walk on this journey, it is that you who have to contribute every day and come back and check. जैसे मयूर जी ने आपको इंग्लिश तो सिखा दिया, उसके बाद क्या होता है, आप how much you put it to use, that is going to make you a better, English spoken person. Now I will also say, now I will give you 2-3 how you can make your life worthwhile, when you are learning English. Don't worry about what level, what age you are into. The best thing is to learn language. Go and read a small book, like a children book. Okay, so where you will understand very nicely and very beautifully the sentences are drafted there. Okay, your confidence will go to the next level book. Go to the next level book. You will see within 3 months your language will have a hold. Whatever you are learning, try to speak that out, and don't worry whom you are speaking with. Probably you said, probably you can say Ronnie had to run away with his money because he was not left with any options. Say that I was not left with any option, so I have to run away with this probably gulab jamun. Okay, so you can use this in your daily language and see what magic it makes. Probably, Mayur, for your audience, I think it is helpful because they are still in the journey of speaking. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. They can actually any way they can just implement. और जैसे आपने गाइड करा कि ये चिल्ड्रन क्योंकि हम उस फेज में अपने आप को ले जाते हैं ना, हम रिलेट कर लेते हैं वहां से, हम अपने बचपन को याद कर लेते हैं, तो फिर उस वे में मुझे लगता है माइंडसेट भी बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करने लगता है सीखने में, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम जब अपने आप को एज एन एडल्ट देखने लगते हैं और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज के साथ देखने लगते हैं, तब जाके उसको वो सीखने का फेज वो डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है,
डिफिकल्ट होने लगता है. अब आपने एब्सोल्युटली इसको यू नेल्ड इट व्हेन यू सेड दैट. हम जब व्हाई आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट चिल्ड्रन बुक, यू विल सी most of my books are children book because I get inspired from children book, because I can connect with children book. I have 2 lovely children who, again, my daughter is 11-year-old and she is already a published author with 2 books and she is writing her 3rd book. Okay, thank you so much. So how making her sit, making her understand the journey, how to connect with the nature, come up, talk to anyone, talk to world, talk to cats, talk to dogs. That is perfectly okay. But whatever you have read 2-3 lines today, please try to practice that. I mean, I'm not saying just go and just practice like a speech, but keep it very simple and organic. Try to say that to your dog, whatever you learned in the book. And as Mayurji said, it's absolutely when you are able to read that children's book, you are able to become a learner, and that puts you into a children's mindset, right? Absolutely, Mayur.
Right. थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे एक पेरेंटिंग का भी बहुत अच्छा एक एडवाइस हो जाएगा. जैसे आपने बताया कि एट द एज ऑफ 11 आपका जो आपकी बेटी है वो खुद एक ऑथर है अभी, तो उसमें वो कहाँ से उनके दिमाग में आया कि मुझे भी ये करना है मेरे लिए, तो वो आपने डाला उनमें या फिर आपको वो देख रहे थे और वहां से वो?
मैं बिल्कुल इस बारे में थोड़ा सा I would love to share about parenting, because parenting is my passion, it's not my job. So, and I in fact I started this academy for children. Many people asked me, why are you not helping adults? I said, because I can connect with children like anything. And when I saw both the children, I have one 11-year-old daughter and 8-year-old son. When I saw that I was doing something right with them, time and again, I thought, why not, if some children are in need of these kind of a parenting structure, so why can't I help? Along with so this is how I came up with the academy as well. So now you will not believe, everyone was surprised, or you can say shocked, when my child was 1 year old, 1 month old child. I used to read for her. They said, why is she reading to 1 month old child? People, try to play with them. Parents try to make fun with them. They put them into water. They make them do swim. But 1 month old child, why are you even reading? Trust me, that is the right time. When the child is 30 days old, you should start reading it to your child. And child is able to grasp. And I could connect with the child, no one else. absolutely, as I was reading, the child was reacting to her eye contact with me, was actually excited, sad, happy. Child was able to do, and only 30 days old. And absolutely, my husband today also, I remember like him talking like, the way you introduce the books to children, how it is helping. Now my children, now my daughter can read 540 words per minute. So like, today she is a voracious reader, and my like son, last year, both of them, like, my daughter finished around 57 books, like, in alone in 2022. My son finished around, I think 19 or 20 books. Okay. So, this is how
And
I
how
model.
old he is, your son?
He is 8-year-old now.
Wow. And how
Yeah.
many books that he has completed?
Yeah, he completed around 19 books, the complete series of
In a year.
yes, yes. So daughter, like, she
तो
loves
वो जो
reading, and
कलेक्शन है, आप डिसाइड करते हैं कि किस कलेक्शन में वो जाएंगे, या फिर जस्ट आप उनको लेके जाते हैं क्रॉसवर्ड वगैरह में और
करेक्ट, मैं क्रॉसवर्ड, मेरा आप मानेंगे नहीं, मेरे मोस्ट ऑफ माय सैटरडेज, लाइक yesterday I think probably like, yesterday we were there in crossword. Most of my Saturdays are spent in crossword is a beautiful place where I sit and create all my stories, writing job, everything on Saturday. And they are exploring all the books, like, a complete from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock we spend like most of the Saturdays there. Like, we eat there, laugh there. My daughter also reads it to young children who comes there. She conducts a story session for others. Like, she herself, like, she has created a community there. And like, they don't come to me up till 6 o'clock. They're reading, and probably they finish one book during the day, like reading. Now she started reading Mahabharata, Ramayana, all these epics as well. Like, she has also read the Ikigai, the for teenagers. All these, like, now she's getting into especially non-fictions as well, more than a story books. Now she's exploring. Yes, आपने बोला कि did you introduce this book to her? Of course, initially I picked up the storybooks when she was a 6-month old or a 1-year old. You will not believe, after 1.5 years, when she did not know how to read a word also, I used to tell her, get this book from the shelf. She used to exactly get that book because she was well versed with the book, whatever I am talking in the from reading from the book. And आप लोगों को अगर आप English में अच्छे हैं नहीं हैं, this is going to be your journey. You need to read it to your child, because now you know that even 1-month-old child can connect with books. So probably you will not believe, I think Mayur did not get a chance this time to visit us. Otherwise, like, all our friends were here. We have more than 2,000 books. Out of that, like, 1,000 books are like, every day we make it a point. 1 week, at least 4 books are ordered by 4 of us, like, separately, me, my husband. And we also have a, like, reading time, like, 9 to 10 generally. We, like, generally these days, I'm like not keeping up with that too much, but 9 to 10 we consider as a reading hours. Like, all of us, we catch up with the book, and like, we sit and read. So this is how the
great.
journey
And
has.
I also want to connect this with English. Actually, reading helps a lot, and
Yes, yes,
because it's an
yes,
input skill.
correct.
And when we read, then we also actually we are able to imagine a lot of things.
Right.
And when it comes to presentation, so on the basis of that, we can also implement our thoughts. What do you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. So reading is like, see, author is writing. Now, my first book, I must say here, like, when you spoke about how the author connects, I have been raised by my grandparents, like, since my mother was working, like, and my whole life was like, whole childhood was spent around these farm animals and farms. Now, my first book is about 19 farm animals. It's a non-fiction, but talking about 19 farm animals belonging to complete throughout the world, wherever they belong to. Also about talking, like, how creatively these two children called Joe and Jesse, they go and, like, they visit their grandparents' farm, and there they learn about each day they learn about farm animals. Now you spoke about, like, how do you connect about presentation? So your thoughts are like, when you read, you get words. When you think, when you connect with nature, you get creativity. And when it comes to English, now you more and more you read books, you more and more your vocab grows, and you know how to present it. And why English? Now many people, still in my hometown, they talk, being a Kannada girl, why you have to publish only in English? See, I'm not against about any vernacular language or anything, but even my children, why do they speak English only in home, at home? Though my daughter, they know Hindi, the thing is this, they are able to connect with more and more people. They are able to connect with international students. They are able to connect with international people who are on YouTube. My daughter, she does a fabulous journaling, so they are able to connect with people. So if you want to connect, see, what we are trying to talk about is one school, one family, one probably one place, town, or a city. But we need to be a global citizen. Now it is called as a global village. And one language, if it is ruling this global village, is English. So I would say, please do not keep a small approach. Our language, of course, you need to inculcate that language, because I don't want any language to be died off just because your parents have not taught you or something. But I also want you to keep it in mind, with your regional language, if you're able to reach out to probably 10 people, 1,000 people, you're able to do the same with probably 10,000 people or a lakh of people. So which is more superior? Do you want your child or yourself to reach out with your knowledge? Probably someone is good in business, someone is good in talking, but just because you do not know English, I don't want others to get debarred from your knowledge. Please keep English as, and don't associate with the Britishers, whom origin. See, we do not have to. Our yoga have been already used by most of the country. Can we say that yoga is originated in English? Sorry, in India, so we should not use it? No. So that means what is good for you, irrespective of who originated it, please start using it. And don't take English as it's a foreign language. It is one language which is ruling the world. It is a common language. It is not a foreign language. So this is how I would like to perceive. If you have the capability to impact people, let English not become a constraint. Please go to Mayur Soni ji and learn how to talk English in a better way.
It's a lingua franca, and there are 6,500 languages in the world, and English is number one in all of them.
Yes.
And even if we talk today, as you just talked about yoga, okay, yoga is now a global sadhana, I would say. Even I'm able to see that there are many foreigners, they learn, and they actually, they are teachers, they are very good teachers of yoga. Many foreigners, they are doing this job. Okay, so it's all about becoming a global citizen. It helps a lot. Or if we see our freedom fighters, so they were very good in English. Today, if we talk about the spiritual gurus,
like Vivekananda ji, yes,
Vivekananda, even आप श्री रविशंकर जी की बात करें, या फिर इन अवर BAPS, everywhere we find. तो बस एक चीज यही है कि now things इतना सरल हो गया है. देखिए कि हमने सोचा कि रूपाश्री जी के साथ एक सेशन करना है, और मैम के साथ हमने कनेक्ट करा, और उन्होंने डेफिनेटली हमें हेल्प करने के लिए बोला कि नहीं, बिल्कुल मैं आपके शो में आऊंगी, और हम लोग कनेक्ट हो गए. सो ऑल द वे फ्रॉम मुंबई और आई एम फ्रॉम गुजरात. ओके, तो एक टाउन में से तो कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं. तो ये टेक्नोलॉजी का पावर है. तो ये पावर को अगर आपको कनेक्ट करना है, ग्लोबली आपको जाना है, देन डेफिनेटली यू नीड टू बी फ्लुएंट एंड यू नीड टू लर्न दिस. तो आप अपने आप को एक्सपांड और एक्सप्लोर कर पाएंगे. रूपा जी
जी सोनी जी, मैं आपको यहाँ पे और एक बताना चाहूंगी. जैसे हमारा इतना विजन रहता है, और डिफरेंट विजन, रीजन को हेल्प करने का, और प्रोबेबली टू हेल्प कंट्री, प्रोबेबली टू हेल्प स्टेट, प्रोबेबली many people also associate themselves with a world level, okay, global level. Now if I would love to say, as a technology, it is so difficult for anyone to create so many variant of like, probably thousands of language which is spoken over the world. Is this easier, or to everyone learning one language is easier? And English being a simple language, very easy to communicate and write, this has been given that beautiful this thing. Now there is Spanish, French, everything is moving towards, but I can sense that English would remain as the highest spoken language, throughout the world for a longer and longer way, because, people are able to connect with that. So I would say, like, please don't, limit your thoughts to only region. If you have something, if you make a nice pickle, Gujarati pickle, let people sitting in South Africa or New Zealand, them know through your English language that, yes, of course, only when they are able to read your, label, they will be able to connect with you. Go global and with English language. So, like, it is not to promote English language, but make yourself very comfortable in English language. And today it is, as Mayurji said, like, it is not difficult. Mayurji from Gujarat, he can teach many people how to speak in English, even people who are sitting in US or like, Canada or someone. This is the availability. This is a privilege we are living in today.
Privilege of this era.
Yes.
ग्रेट. तो रूपा जी, हम लोग अभी एंड पोर्शन में आ गए आज का हमारा जो शो है, और समय चला गया, पता नहीं चला, बहुत सारी चीजें फ्लो में गई. बहुत मुझे दिल से मैं कहूंगा बहुत मजा आया आपके साथ डिस्कशन करने में. और मैं 4-5 पॉइंट जो पूरा इसका थोड़ा समरी करना चाहूंगा जो आपने शुरुआत से बताया. द फर्स्ट थिंग आपने बताया कि आप उस बैकग्राउंड में से थे जहां पे इंग्लिश बोलना एक ऑर्थोडॉक्स कहेंगे हम इसको, है ना, तो लोगों के लिए इतना था. लेकिन वहां से आपने एक जर्नी की शुरुआत करी. आप आज अपने क्षेत्र में इतने सक्सेसफुल है. यू आर एन ऑथर, आप अपना एक कम्युनिटी चला रहे हैं. आपने बताया कि आपके जो चिल्ड्रन हैं दे आर सक्सेसफुल, आई वुड से एट द एज ऑफ 11 और 8 इयर्स, कि जहां पे एक 19 बुक खत्म करता है, एक 57 बुक्स कंप्लीट करते हैं. तो ये बहुत बड़ा एक लेवल मैं कहूंगा जो आप वहां पे लेके गए. तो क्या होता है, बहुत सारे लर्नर्स जो होते हैं वो सोचते हैं कि यार मेरा जो बैकग्राउंड है वो लोकल है, या फिर मैं वर्नाक्युलर में पढ़ा हूँ. क्योंकि हमारे कोर्स में भी होता है, बहुत सारे लोग जब रजिस्ट्रेशन का होता है तो वो एक क्वेश्चन करते हैं कि मेरा एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है तो क्या मैं सीख पाऊंगा. अरे ऐसा नहीं है. लैंग्वेज देखिए, उसके लिए लैंग्वेज कोई भी सीख सकता है. अगर आप फोकस करेंगे, डेफिनेटली एनीवन कैन लर्न दिस. तो आप इसका एक लाइव एग्जांपल है. आप है, मैं हूं, मैं भी वर्नाक्युलर मीडियम से पढ़ा हूं और मैं ये शो भी कर रहा हूं और जितना भी मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. द फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट. सेकंड थिंग आपने बताया आपको करेज लेके आना पड़ेगा, तो आपको इसमें रिस्क लेने पड़ेंगे. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम पीपल अफ्रेड ऑफ मेकिंग मिस्टेक्स.
राइट.
गलतियां करने से अपने आप को, आप गलती करेंगे तो मैं बोलता हूँ ये प्रूफ्स हैं जो आपको बताते हैं कि भाई आप ट्राई
आप गलती नहीं करेंगे तो ग्रो नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो आप वहीं पे रहेंगे.
हाँ,
जहां पे आप थे.
तो आप स्टॉप वहां पे कर जाएंगे. फिर एक बहुत अच्छी चीज आपने बताई कि एक प्रोसेस है, एक जर्नी है, आपको फॉलो करना रहेगा. ये आपने बताया इसको आप पर्सनल मत लीजिए, एक लैंग्वेज के फॉर्म में लीजिए और अपने आप को एवरीडे आप रिशेप करने की कोशिश करें. चौथी चीज आपने बहुत अच्छी बताई रीडिंग के बारे में. चिल्ड्रन बुक जाके पढ़िए, तो वहां पे अपने बचपन के दिनों को भी आप याद करेंगे और वहां से भी आप बहुत कुछ चीजें जो है वो सीखेंगे. एक और चीज जो मुझे बहुत अच्छी स्पेशल है, मैं खुद के लिए भी एक लर्निंग ये लेना चाहूंगा. आप एक ग्लोबल सिटीजन हैं, उस चीज को आप ध्यान में रखते हुए सीखते रहिए. तो ये कुछ पॉइंट्स मैंने बहुत अच्छे से पिकअप कर लिए हैं आज के सेशन में. मैं भी फॉलो करूंगा और मेरे सारी जो ऑडियंस है मैं चाहूंगा कि इसको आप नोट डाउन भी करें और इसके ऊपर वर्क भी करें. एट द एंड रूपा जी, प्लीज आपका जो प्रोग्राम है उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा हमें ब्रीफ कर दीजिए और आपके बुक के बारे में भी बताइए अमेज़न के ऊपर. तो हमारी जो ऑडियंस है वो डेफिनेटली उनके, मैं चाहूंगा कि उनके भी जो बच्चे हैं वो भी आपके प्रोग्राम के साथ जुड़े और बहुत अच्छे ऑथर बने और एक अच्छा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन लेके आए।
जी डेफिनेटली। सो देखिए, जो आप अगर इनमें से कोई जैसे, थैंक यू सो मच फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मयूर जी फॉर टेकिंग नोट ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट व्हिच आई हैव स्पोकन, लाइक आई वुड रियली अप्रिशिएट दैट। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड लर्निंग, लाइक सी आप कोई भी मौके को सिर्फ एक मौका नहीं बना के रखते हैं, यू मेक इट एज अ लर्निंग पॉइंट, राइट? एंड मयूर जी, आई मस्ट से लाइक नाउ people come to us with a dream of just my child writes well, he can write a story, can you make his story better? They just enter our community like this. I have a 5-day workshop where the children are able to create one story. From there, from that journey to, I take them to the next level where within a 60 days I take them to a process where they are able to publish their book, worldwide published books. And what happens there is parents and children, they both are surprised to see that, like their child, like who once, like thought of just talking about talking good English, writing good English phrases or English paragraphs, now has become worldwide published authors, only and only within 60 days. And you would not believe, there are only 0.02% of children in this world are published authors, and I make them belong to that category. Wow. Immediately within 60 days, so that we take a proud by and definitely. In India we've been the leaders in it. Like I started this, there are many have started this, I can see that, like through the promotion and all, but and now the journey doesn't stop here. Once you publish book, what about next? Now, first of all, we help them to become a published author with the Kindle version. Then my next level 2 is all about, like taking children to a next level where, like children are not only able to become published author, also they are able to set up their authority, like they are able to be seen, or they are their visibility on the various platform. Like I teach them blogging, I teach them reviewing, I also teach them editing the book, and I also teach them, like how journaling, how they can heal themselves, how they can become a happier and a better human beings. We also talk about, like of course, book, definitely there we publish their paperback as well as Kindle version books. Now what happened next is, there within that 6 months, when they are able to learn all the modalities of writing, there I help them to also evolve as a growth mindset people. Now I believe it is the writing or becoming a published author is not my goal. To make them express their creativity where it is highest in the young children. So probably how a young child can think, not at this age we can think, and I get inspired by their story. And if you have that creativity, if you have that thought process, if you do not write it now, it will die its own death. That thought will die its own death in coming days, because you will become socially conditioned. It happens always, right? When the child is able to speak to their mind and heart, and when they become little big, we say that no, don't talk like that, people will get offended. So children start stopping themselves. But if you are able to express and box it in a book, and your legacy is forever, you cannot change it now. So all the best things what happens to people in childhood, so like I try to box their thoughts through that, to make world a better place, so that their innovative and creative empathetic views change our society, so that each one of our child tomorrow gets a better society. So this is the motto behind this. So this is how, like we can we connect with people. So this is little about my programs.
Great. और जी हाँ, तो आप जो बच्चों के जो थॉट्स होते हैं उनको पैकेजिंग करने में हेल्प करते हैं और फिर उनको प्रमोट करने के लिए भी हेल्प करते हैं।
Exactly.
बहुत बढ़िया। और आपका जो बुक है उसके बारे में भी बताइए, अमेज़न के
अभी आप देखेंगे, सी आई हैव written about children books, like you can go ahead and just speak about Roopashri Sinha and Amazon.com or Amazon, so you will be able to see a list of books, like where I have reviewed and edited and, like written whatever the books. Now my upcoming books are about also little about our tween. So like tween is an age where, like about the child has from transition, they're transitioning from a child to a teenager. it is like, 9 to 11-year-old children are called generally tweens, like, where I'm writing on, like, how their biology, psychology, everything changes and how we should be addressing about it. So my upcoming books are also on, like, there are many, there are 2 or 3 now children books are coming on a children fiction as well. So we will let you know on, they can follow our pages, so like, we will be
Definitely,
soon letting the,
जी बिल्कुल,
yes.
नोटिफिकेशन में हम लोग डालेंगे तो वो फॉलो कर पाएंगे। तो रूपा
जी
जी,
जी
बहुत बहुत अच्छा हमारा डिस्कशन रहा। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर कमिंग इन दिस शो। बहुत ज्यादा वैल्यू आपने शेयर करी, और मैं भी एक चीज आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि अगले महीने मेरा भी एक बुक आ रहा है जिसके ऊपर मैं काम कर रहा हूँ।
वाओ,
मेरा
वंडरफुल
जो
वंडरफुल,
एक
अमेजिंग,
स्पोकन का जर्नी है, जिसके बेस के ऊपर कुछ ऐसे
वंडरफुल,
सिद्धांत है जो मैंने सीखे हैं, और मैंने
जी
खुद भी
जी,
उसको जब इम्प्लीमेंट करा और मेरे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ तो बहुत अच्छे उनको रिजल्ट्स मिले। तो उसको पैकेज
वंडरफुल,
करके मैंने भी एक ऑथर का हेल्प लिया है जो मुझे हेल्प कर रहे हैं इस जर्नी।
अमेजिंग अमेजिंग
तो
अमेजिंग
बहुत
अमेजिंग,
ज्यादा बुक्स जो है वो हमें हेल्प करते हैं अपने आप को एक नए
एब्सोल्युटली
वे में प्रेजेंट करने में। तो
एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली
बहुत अच्छा आप
एब्सोल्युटली,
काम कर रहे हैं। और
थैंक यू सो मच मयूर
बच्चों
जी,
को
थैंक यू,
बनाना यानी एक न्यू इंडिया को बनाना, ये
जी जी
मोस्ट ऑफ द
जी,
टाइम क्या होता है, लोग एडल्ट्स के साथ या फिर बिजनेस में ऐसे ही ज्यादा काम करना पसंद करते हैं जहाँ पे वो लोग एक अपना एज ग्रुप फाउंड करें। लेकिन
करेक्ट,
आप जो है वो काम कर रहे हैं बच्चों के साथ उस माइंडसेट, और हम भी, और ये हेल्प करता है वो हैप्पीनेस जो आपके चेहरे में वो दिखाई देती है नेचुरल। मुझे लगता है इसी काम की वजह से है। तो आप बिल्कुल इसको
एब्सोल्युटली
कैरी ऑन करिए,
एब्सोल्युटली,
हमारी
यस,
बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
थैंक यू सो
वंस
मच
अगेन
मयूर जी,
थैंक
थैंक यू
यू
सो
वेरी
मच,
मच फॉर कमिंग इन दिस शो एंड आई
थैंक यू।
होप कि आपने भी बहुत ज्यादा एंजॉय करा। थैंक यू फॉर
Sure,
योर टाइम।
absolutely. It was a pleasure, like, being on this platform, Mayurji. And I would love to wish, each audience a very happy journey, a very happy English, I would say, like, twist your, like, mother tongue to an English tongue only for your, like, growth. See, mother tongue is our base, but growth is, still lying in English tongue. So don't hesitate. You are not, don't get restricted to, I would like to again, once again, stress on that. Don't think that, like, if you are learning English or you're doing something in English, that doesn't mean that you're leaving your root. In fact, you are flourishing your root to a better tree. Through English, you are making your root reach to a better, like, global village. Okay, so
ग्रेट
please be with
ग्लोबल।
Mayurji, and that's a wonderful. Thank you so much, Mayurji, for calling me on this show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Would like to, like, see you soon. Thank you so
Great,
much.
great. And let's take a pic together with the V for victory.
Absolutely.
हाँ, मैं इसमें एक स्क्रीनशॉट भी ले लेता हूँ। और
Sure.
चलिए, तो थैंक यू वेरी मच, मुझे एंड करना
Thank
पड़ेगा।
you so much.
जितने भी
Thank you
हमारे
so much,
जो
Mayur.
व्यूअर्स हैं इस शो को देख रहे हैं और भविष्य में भी देखने वाले हैं, मुझे लगता
Definitely,
है
definitely.
कि बहुत ज्यादा हेल्प ये शो आपको करने वाला है। और रूपा जी ने
Sure.
बहुत सारी चीजें शेयर करी है, इंग्लिश के बारे में भी है, कैरियर के बारे में भी है, पेरेंटिंग के बारे में भी है, और हमारे खुद के लिए भी है। तो मैं चाहूंगा आप इसको सिर्फ इंफॉर्मेशन के वे में ना ले, बिल्कुल इसको इम्प्लीमेंट भी करें, क्योंकि इम्प्लीमेंटेशन से ही जो काम है
Absolutely.
वो होने वाला है। तो प्लीज इसको फॉलो
Absolutely.
करिएगा। आपको ये जो हमारा शो है कैसा लगा, बिल्कुल हमें कमेंट में बताइए, और बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ शेयर भी करिए जिससे वो लोग भी वैल्यू ले पाए। थैंक यू वेरी मच ऑल ऑफ यू। थैंक यू वेरी मच
Thank you.
once
Thank
again.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you so much, Mayurji. Bye-bye. Take care.